Good evening. I'm glad you're with us tonight. She says she wanted the divorce. He filed first, and now she's telling everything. A bombshell podcast appearance, a denied restraining order, a prenup that may not even be valid. Tonight, the Mormon wives' divorce that is shaking up reality television, and it is far messier than anyone knew. The world of reality television is no stranger to drama, but what is unfolding right now between Jessi Draper and her estranged husband, Jordan Ngatikaura, is not just drama. It is a story about betrayal, legal warfare, secret agreements broken, and a woman who says she woke up one morning and decided she was done. Jessi Draper, star of the hit Hulu series The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, sat down Wednesday with podcast host Alex Cooper on Call Her Daddy, and for the first time since her husband Jordan Ngatikaura filed for divorce on March 19th, Jessi is speaking, publicly, boldly, and in extraordinary detail. Tonight, we break down everything she said, the blindside filing, the restraining order, the affair allegations, and the prenup that could cost her millions. This is the full story. To understand where we are today, you need to know where this all started. Jessi Draper and Jordan Ngatikaura got married in 2020. They are parents to 2 children, a son named Jagger, born in 2020, and a daughter named Jovi, born in 2023. Their relationship has played out, in large part, on camera. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives follows a group of women navigating faith, family, and social media fame inside Utah's Mormon influencer community. Jessi became one of the show's most talked about figures, not just for her personality, but for the very public struggles inside her marriage. In season 2 of the series, Jessi was accused of infidelity. That accusation, it turned out, had a real foundation. Jessi eventually revealed that she had an emotional affair with Bravo television personality Marciano Brunette. The two met while filming the Hulu series Vanderpump Villa. Jessi confirmed to Jordan that she and Marciano kissed. She has consistently maintained, including on Wednesday's podcast, that the relationship never became physical beyond that. By season 4 of Mormon Wives, Jessi and Jordan were publicly attempting to repair their marriage. Viewers watched them work through the fallout of the affair. But behind the scenes, according to Jessi, the cracks were far deeper than what was shown on television. Also in season 4, Jessi sat down with her father to revisit her prenuptial agreement. What they discovered was alarming. The prenup, signed when the couple married in 2020, may not have had proper witness signatures. Under the law, that could render the entire document void. At the time of their marriage, Jessi's net worth was significantly lower than it is today. Her business has grown substantially over 5 years. If the prenup is voided, Jordan could legally be entitled to a share of everything she has built during the marriage. Jessi said it plainly on camera during season 4. "I'll probably lose millions. He's entitled to anything in the last 5 years that I've created." That is the financial battlefield on which this divorce is now being fought. Now to the divorce itself, and the moment Jessi says changed everything. Speaking on Wednesday's episode of Call Her Daddy with host Alex Cooper, Jessi described a personal turning point that she says came quietly but completely. In her own words, "I had been in limbo for a while, and anyone that's lived in limbo knows it's excruciating, where I'm like, I don't know if this is right or not. I literally woke up one day and it's such a simple thought, but I was like, I can change this. I can change my life. I can be happy." She continued, "It was like something flipped and I was like, I'm done, and I could not go back after that." According to Jessi, this was not the first time she had raised the idea of divorce with Jordan. She claims that over the past year, she brought it up multiple times, and each time, Jordan found a way to calm the situation down and keep the marriage intact. But on March 13th of this year, Jessi says she told Jordan clearly and directly that she wanted a divorce. She says the two of them made an agreement. They would file together. They would tell their children together before anything became public. What happened next, according to Jessi, is what she calls a betrayal. On March 19th, Jordan Ngatikaura filed for divorce. He filed alone. He filed first. And Jessi says she found out not from her husband, but from a message she received from TMZ. In her words, "I did end it with him, so I knew it was coming, but we made an agreement to do it together. And he blindsided me and filed because he wanted the headline first." She added, "We agreed to tell our children together before filing, and we haven't done that." And then, one word, she called it a betrayal. Jordan, for his part, released a statement to US Weekly at the time of the filing. In it, he described the decision as one that was not made easily, and said it came with, in his words, a heavy heart. He wrote that his priority remains his children, and that he intends to handle the next chapter with kindness and respect. He asked for privacy as the family navigates the transition. Those are calm, measured words, but the legal moves that followed tell a different story. One day after filing for divorce, on March 20th, Jordan Ngatikaura filed a request for a temporary restraining order against Jessi Draper. That same day, Jessi filed her opposition. Court documents confirm both filings. The specific claims within those documents have not been made public, but the legal escalation from divorce filing to restraining order request in under 24 hours signals that this separation is anything but amicable. On Tuesday, March 24th, just one day before Jessi's podcast appearance, the temporary restraining order request was denied. But the legal maneuvering did not stop there. According to Jessi, Jordan also attempted to include a clause in the divorce paperwork that would have legally prevented her from appearing on any podcast to discuss him. Jessi says she did not sign anything before sitting down with Alex Cooper on Wednesday. She made clear that no legal agreement was in place that could stop her from speaking, and she intended to speak. And speak she did. On the podcast, Jessi made a series of significant allegations against her estranged husband. First, the affair claim in the divorce paperwork. Jessi says Jordan listed her relationship with Marciano Brunette as the reason for the divorce. In her words, "He put in the papers that we ended it because I had an affair, and he's talking about Marciano, the person I kissed a year and a half ago. That's what he put as the reason." I was like, what? We've worked through that. It's already been proven on TV that I didn't sleep with him. So crazy. Second, and this is significant, Jessi made a counter-allegation. She claimed on Wednesday's podcast that Jordan himself slept with escorts prior to Season 1 of Mormon Wives, before any of the Marciano situation even occurred. That claim has not been independently verified, and Jordan has not yet responded publicly to this specific allegation. Us Weekly confirmed they have reached out to Jordan for comment. As of Wednesday evening, no response. And then there is the financial dimension, the prenup, the one that may not be legally valid. Jessi expressed deep concern about what divorce without a valid prenup could mean for her. She was direct about it on Season 4 of the show, and she reiterated those fears on Wednesday. In her own words, "I just don't know what will happen. I'll probably lose millions. He's entitled to anything in the last 5 years that I've created. When we got married, I was worth a lot less than I am now, so it just sucks." She went further, describing Jordan's potential behavior during the divorce process with striking honesty. In her own words, "Jordan has made a lot of changes, but if I'm basing it off of the Jordan that I was married to for 4 years, that Jordan would be a very hard person to divorce. He would be spiteful and vindictive. I think he would play a little bit dirty." What we are watching unfold in real time is genuinely unusual, even by reality television standards. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has been one of Hulu's most watched reality series since it premiered. It built its audience precisely because it offered an unfiltered look at relationships that most shows would sanitize. Jessi Draper became central to that narrative, and this divorce is, in many ways, the continuation of a story that has been building on screen for multiple seasons. But what is striking about Wednesday's Call Her Daddy appearance is the level of legal and personal detail that Jessi chose to share and the timing of it. The restraining order had just been denied, the divorce filing had listed her affair as the grounds, and she had just found out from a media outlet, not her husband, that he had pulled the trigger on the filing first. In that context, this podcast appearance reads as a very deliberate move. Jessi is not just processing emotions publicly, she is setting a record straight. She is establishing a narrative, and she is doing it before Jordan has a chance to control the story. Her own words tell you that. She said Jordan filed first because he wanted the headline first. Jessi, it appears, wanted the last word. The human element here, the part that gets lost in all the legal back and forth, are two young children. Their parents have not yet told them that their family is changing. That, according to Jessi, was supposed to happen before any filing, before any headlines, before any of this became public. It did not. That is the part of this story that Jessi returned to repeatedly, not the prenup, not the affair allegations, the children, and the promise she says was broken before this divorce had even begun. Let's take a moment to bring this all together, because there are a lot of moving pieces here, and the story is still very much developing. March 13th, Jessi tells Jordan she wants a divorce. March 19th, Jordan files for divorce alone ahead of their alleged agreement. March 20th, Jordan files a temporary restraining order. Jessi files her opposition the same day. March 24th, the restraining order is denied. March 25th, Jessi Draper sits down with Alex Cooper on Call Her Daddy and tells the world her version of everything. What we do not yet know, and what the courts will now begin to sort through, is what happens with that prenup. If it's voided due to the missing witness signatures, the financial stakes of this divorce escalate dramatically. Jessi has built a significant business and public platform over 5 years of marriage. Under Utah divorce law, without a valid prenuptial agreement, those assets may well be subject to division. We also do not know Jordan's full response to the allegations made Wednesday. His previous public statement emphasized kindness and privacy. The restraining order filing suggests a different posture behind closed doors. And Jessi's claim that Jordan slept with escorts prior to season 1 of the show, if Jordan chooses to address it, could reshape how the public understands the full arc of this marriage. What we do know is this. Jessi Draper chose her moment carefully. She waited for the restraining order to be denied. She refused to sign any agreement that would silence her, and then she sat down and talked for all the world to hear. Whether you see that as bravery, strategy, or both, it is a moment that will define this story going forward. We will continue to follow this case closely. If and when Jordan Ngatikaura responds publicly to the specific allegations made Wednesday, we will bring you that response immediately. If there are further developments in the divorce proceedings or the prenup validity question, we will cover them as they happen. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives built its reputation on showing what happens behind closed doors in one of America's most closely watched communities. Tonight, one of its stars has pulled back the curtain, not on a set, not in a confessional, but live on a microphone with everything on the line. Jessi Draper says she decided one morning that she could change her life, that she could be happy. Whatever comes next in this courtroom and in this family, that decision has now been made very, very public. I'm glad you spent this time with us tonight. Stay with us for continuing coverage as this story develops. We will be right back.